So how do we perceive? Basically, nervous system, I think, to me personally, is the most important system for human being at least. This is how we perceive the world and how we react to the world. And the sensory component of the nervous system allow us to take the output from the environment and internalize and send it to the brain. And among this, there's two components. One is external environment, as I mentioned to you, what we see, what we hear. But there's also internal environments, such as within our body, our gut movement, for example, how we breathe, and so on and so forth. All this info, whether they are, and this also, we can divide them into two categories. One is conscious, and the other is subconscious. So those internal ones, as I mentioned, like looking at blood pressures and so on, are internal. They are not in the conscious level. The external environment are typically the one we will sense and then process. All this will come into the brain and send into the what we call central nervous system, and subsequently the brain will decide what to do. The output with motor component. So for today, we basically focus on the sensory part of the brain. The Greek philosopher has defined 5 senses. They are sight, touch, hearing, taste, and smell. For each of the senses, there's corresponding what we call sense organ. So for example, for sight, it's our eyes. Touch are basically the largest somatic sensation, including skin. That's our whole body. Hearing is our ear. Taste is tongue. Smell is our nose. So each of the distinct sense correspond to different sense organs. So as I mentioned, the function of each sensory system is to provide our brain with a representation of the external world.